What's up everyone, it's just Blaze89. In today's video we're going to be doing the best class setup for the Stoner 63 in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So let's get into the class setup. First of all, the optic I like to go for is the Vision Tech 2x optic. The reason for that is mainly because the reticle is black, which makes it easier to see what you're aiming at. Sometimes I find that the red dots occasionally kind of go a bit weird in certain lines of sight, in certain environments. They kind of become almost invisible, or at least harder to spot. So I find this to be the best one. Also, because I'm mainly using this LMG at range, I'm not intending to run and gun with it. So for that reason, we're going for the Vision Tech 2x scope. If you'd rather use another, that's up to you, but that's the scope I like to use because that's how I like to play with this gun. The muzzle we're going to go for is going to be the SOCOM Eliminator. The reason for that is that it's going to give us a 17% boost to our vertical recoil control. It does also give us an 85% muzzle flash concealment, which means that your red dot will appear for less time on the minimap than it would if you didn't have it. That's not really relevant to us. It's mainly for the recoil control that we're going for this one. We do lose some shooting move speed, but again, I'm not planning on running gunning with this class. And we lose some horizontal recoil control, but we're going to compensate for that with the next attachment. So the next attachment that we're going to have on there is going to be the Field Agent grip. The reason for that is it's going to give us a 30% horizontal recoil control, and it's going to give us another 8% on vertical recoil control. Again, we do lose 9% in shooting move speed, but again, I'm not planning on running gunning with this particular setup or this gun. I'm mainly going to be getting into long range engagements, medium maybe, but we don't intend to get up close with it. The next attachment we're going to have is going to be the Task Force barrel. The reason for that is it's going to increase our bullet velocity by 41%, which is going to take it all the way up to 1,000 meters a second on the bullet velocity. Sorry about that. That's great for long range engagements. Again, bullet velocity is very important in anything at range, because it's basically, for those who don't know, though most you probably do, it's the time it takes for the bullet to get from the gun to wherever it's traveling to. It's also going to increase our range 100% to 43 meters, whereas prior to that it would have been at 21. And it's also going to boost our damage up to 41. Now, we do lose some magazine ammo capacity and starting ammo, but I don't mind. That's a trade-off I'm willing to make for the boost that the barrel gives you. So the final attachment that we're going to have is going to be the Airborne elastic wrap. The reason for that is, without it, our aim down sight time is, where is it? There it is. Our aim down sight time, sorry about that, is 633 milliseconds. When we add the Airborne elastic wrap, it brings it right down to 443 milliseconds. Again, the aim down sight isn't a major factor because we're planning on holding lines of sight and shooting at range with this gun, but it is helpful for it to be a little bit quicker. Again, you're going to lose on your shooting move speed and your sprint to fire, but again, we're not planning on running and gunning with this particular class setup. So with that, that's the whole class setup for this particular gun. As for how to use it, as I say, mainly you want to be playing at range, trying to get those kills, holding down strong lines of sight, and don't really run and gun too much. I would advise that as a secondary weapon, you have the Diamatis. It's worth grinding them out to get to the dual wield, because once you have that, they just melt people. And the way you want to have those set up is to have dual wield on there. You want to have the salvo 30 round fast mag. Reason being, as you can see there, you get 100% increase in ammo capacity, 40% reload quickness, 100% max starting ammo, and 100% ammo capacity. You do lose aim down sight, but you're not aiming down sight because you're dual wielding, so it's all hip fire. So these literally melt people. As good as, I rate them as good as the shotguns, the Rangers. Probably better because you've got more ammo and they're better at range. You want to also add on the 5 milliwatt or whatever that is laser sight, the SWAT laser sight, because that's going to give you a 35% boost to your hip fire accuracy. And again, it has an aim down sight nerf, but that doesn't matter because it's all hip fire with these guns anyway. You can't aim down sight. Then you want to add on the Task Force barrel, which is going to give you 40% increase to your damage range and 120% bullet velocity, plus 13% to your damage. You're going to get less ammo and it will affect your recoil, but it really doesn't matter for how these spray. Finally, you want to put the sound suppressor on. just so that you're not having to come up on the mini-map when you're firing, which will keep you concealed and make it a little bit easier to get the kills without being seen. You don't really want to go for the agency suppressor, because although it gives you a vertical recoil control boost, the damage range is too much of a nerf in my opinion. I then go for the gas mine as my field upgrade, just because I find it to be better than the, what is it, the bouncing Betty type one, what's it called? The proximity mine. I find it better than that because you can't crouch under it. However, if people do have tac mask, they can just run straight through it, but you will at least hear it go off, so know that they're there. And I just like to use these to cover my back wherever I'm holding a line of sight. My lethal, I'll go for Semtex, but you can go for whatever you want to go for. And as tactical, I'll go Stim Shot, just because it's handy to get you back in the gunfights quicker with instantly healing yourself. The perks I'm going to go for is going to be Flak Jacket, for the obvious reason that you want to have less damage taken from explosives. Forward Intel, because that's really good, because not only does it increase the minimap size, it also shows you when enemies are spawning in, where they're spawning, so that's a very handy one to have. Stops you from getting snuck up from behind if the enemies start spawning behind you, especially on a map like Nuketown. Perk 2, we're going to go for Assassin, because to be honest I think that's the only good one there, because it gives you a score boost if you kill someone that's on a streak. The bigger the streak they're on, the bigger the boost you get, so helps you abuse the ridiculous score streak system they have in this game. Then I've got Scavenger on, just so I can pick up some ammo from kills I get, which will help with restocking the Stoner 63 with the ammo that we lost as starting ammo by having the Task Force barrel on there. Finally, in the perk 3 slots, we're going for Spycraft, because not so much for the hacking enemy equipment, but more so because it's going to mean that when they call in counter spy planes, jammers, things like that, you won't be affected by it and you'll be able to still see the minimap clearly. And finally, Cold Blooded, because one, you're not going to get seen by enemy kill streaks in the sky and targeted by them, and two, your red name thing isn't going to come up above your head with the flashlights, which is a handy thing to have as a good counter to flashlights, because they are very powerful in this game. Obviously we've got perk greed on as a wild card, just so that we can have all those perks, and that's my setup for this one. Would you prefer that I did the next setup having more gameplay in? I have got plenty, I just didn't know whether you'd rather see me actually show you the setup on here or show you through gameplay. So let me know what you think of this video. I hope you find this class setup useful. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.